Well, hey friends and neighbors, this is Chuck at Sheridan Park Farms. Welcome back to the farm. So on a couple of videos ago, we talked about moving our cattle to the very last part of the farm where we had some stockpiled winter forage. Well, these guys have been on that spot now for about 7 days altogether. And we're not completely out of grass. There's still some grass, but what we're going to do today, we're going to put out a roll of hay. We're going to do what's called bale grazing. We're going to take this bale hay and we're going to unroll it on the ground for these cows to munch on. We're going to use a pitchfork and kind of spread it around because we don't have one of those fancy Greg Judy bale unrollers. So we're going to put this out for these cows to do some bale grazing. Now, we've seen and heard some anecdotal kinds of studies where folks have tried using both a hay ring and using bale grazing as a way to feed cows in the wintertime. And from what we've seen and heard folks say, whenever you're putting that hay down in a ring, you get a whole lot of pressure right around the edge of the ring and you get a lot of mud. And you don't get quite as much consumption as you do if you unroll it on the ground. Unrolling on the ground, it spreads it out so you don't have that concentration of the animals in just one spot where they're trying to eat. So we're going to unroll this today. I've got to give a shout out to my former neighbor George whenever we were living at the other farm down in Greensboro. After the video where we showed moving those cows onto the last part of what grass we had, George sent me a message and he said, I know you've thought this out and I know you've got a plan, but what are you going to do now that you're out of grass? So, and this was exactly what I told George we were going to do. So shout out to neighbor George down in Greensboro. But we're going to unroll some hay for these guys right now on the upper part of this pasture and do a little bale grazing. An added benefit is this puts some extra carbon down on the ground. So what they don't eat, they're going to stomp down, feeds those soil microbes and helps us to grow some grass later on. Keeps us from just munching it down to the dirt and stunting it for springtime growth. So hang out with us for a little bit and let's see if we can get this roll of hay unrolled for these cattle to eat on. All right, for those of you that are very astute viewers, you may notice there's only 7 left. Started with 20. Whenever we moved them up to the last part of the farm the other week, we had 9. Reason being, we took 2 to the butcher this morning. Both of those were sold as, both of them were sold as wholes. So we got 7 left, 7 steers left. Any of these guys could probably go about any time now. We're going to finish them off. We'd like to get them on the spring and get a little more green grass in, but we'll see how it goes. I mean, everybody looks good. So we've only got 7 left, but that number's going to change here pretty quick. So y'all keep watching. We got some big changes coming on the cows. Y'all like that hay, don't you? So is this the correct way to?
I think it is.
Tell pretty quick, don't we? Not much. Yeah, there we go.
Yeah.
Yep, we're unrolling now.
All right, will you grab the pitchfork?
Yep. Yeah. So we don't lose it. You got the JW cam going there. Reuben, honey, watch out, you'll get rolled over. Reuben, honey, you've got to move. Y'all gonna get squished by the bale. Reuben says, I'm gonna unroll now, Daddy. I'm a cattle dog. It's my job, feeding the cattle. It gives us a nice trail of hay right here. We started out actually unrolling it backwards. We should have flipped it over. Well, we could have flipped it over and it would have unrolled a whole lot easier, but we actually like this, don't we, JW, because we were able to fluff it out more.
Yeah.
And cut.
If you unroll it backwards and then go fast, you can get it spread out a whole lot further.
Yeah, and that's what we done is, yeah, we just unrolled it and kind of spread it out as we went. So gives us a little more coverage on the ground, gives the cows a lot more feeding area. So hopefully they won't be pooping and peeing on it too bad. But man, they love it. Let's go up here and get a little closer to them and watch the cows get fat. Going after it.
Chowing down.
Chowing down, man. That looks good, don't it? Yeah. And then we got this nice trail of hay all the way down the side of this pasture. Cow's got a pretty dinner table, ain't they? Yeah. Look at that scene over through there. Ain't that nice? All right. That's how we're going to feed the cows these winter. Hopefully we're not going to have to do this for long. It's second week of January. So if we can get through about, what do you think, JW? About 8 more weeks?
Yeah, middle of March.
We get middle of March, we should be getting some green grass popping up out of the ground, and they can go after it themselves. All right, that's just a quick example of what our wintertime feed regimen is going to be. We're going to unroll some hay out here on the pastures. They're up here on the hillside right now, to the left of the drive as you come into the property. We may end up moving them back down into the meadow. They may go back behind the shop. I don't know what we're going to do with them. We'll just kind of see how it works out. But for right now, this is a great spot. We've got water access here, plenty of room. There is some grass left, but again, we don't want them eating that stuff just all the way down to the dirt and stunting the growth for next spring. So I think this is going to work out pretty good. So, all right, like I always say, please keep us in your prayers. May God bless you and your families, and we'll see you on the next video. Thanks.